Hi guys, welcome to McKola TV. This is the Weekly United. We're back again for another look back at the previous 7 days in the world of Manchester United, and it has been a hectic 7 days for Manchester United. 2 games in that time. Chelsea away in the FA Cup, of course, Liverpool at home in the Premier League as well to round up the week. It was an action-packed week, and of course I had you covered here on McKola TV throughout everything, as it started on Monday with me in the press box at the Chelsea game. Going into that game, I was pretty worried, I'm not gonna lie. Going into it, I was a bit, Chelsea have a great record here against Manchester United. Yes, they're out of form. Yes, Sarri's under pressure, but with a League Cup final on the horizon, it was an interesting game ahead. But Manchester United were absolutely fantastic yet again on the road under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We put in a performance that was great to see. Without the likes of Lingard, without the likes of Anthony Martial, we had to change the way we played, and Marcus Rashford, Romelu Lukaku were occupying positions in the front line, and of course playing a little bit deeper. We had Paul Pogba and the Herrera and the Nemanja Matic, and it worked well for Manchester United. Juan Mata, he did a very good job marking Jorginho and working around him, and it was a team performance that got the job done at Chelsea, and it was a professional win. And you've got to say, going to Stamford Bridge in a cup game with them under pressure, with their fans, we silenced the crowd in the first half fantastically well, and in the second half, even though Chelsea had a lot of the possession, Manchester United always looked like winning the game. And now it's been 7 away wins out of 7 games for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 17 goals scored, 2 conceded. That is pretty unbelievable. And you've got to say, he's done a fantastic job with our defence. The likes of Smalling are looking fantastic again. I say again because obviously Smalling has had purple patches in his United career, and he's having one now under Solskjaer. Our whole defences, they're all putting in performances, and it's good to see that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer isn't only getting more out of our front line, he's also getting more out of our back line too, and getting more clean sheets to come with it. We got 2 clean sheets in the week. As we know, we ended the week against Liverpool with another clean sheet. The FA Cup draw was made. We got Wolves in the FA Cup. So we've got Wolves coming up now in the FA Cup, another away game. But as I said, United's record on the road is absolutely fantastic. We will need to put in a big performance though, and if we can beat Wolves, we're into the last 4 of the FA Cup, and we have to be, with Man City, one of the favourites to lift the trophy. So all eyes on the FA Cup this season. Of course, the Champions League is looking pretty difficult now. Later that week, before we looked ahead to the Liverpool game, there was a number of things in the press that had caught my eye. One of them was Zlatan Ibrahimovic and his quotes on Manchester United, talking about how one of the quotes was, "Fuck, this is fantastic," when he heard Manchester United fans singing his name for a prolonged period of time in his first game in the Premier League away at Bournemouth. He scored a goal later on in that game, but he said that, "I wasn't even playing well, and these guys were just constantly singing my name. They had really taken to me," and we did. And it's, when I think about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he's one of those players like Henrik Larsson, his Swedish counterpart, that you wish you would have got a hold of a little bit earlier. He was the real deal. The injury was a real shame. He never got to play against Ajax in the Europa League final. That would have been a fantastic way to end that season for him at Manchester United. And after that injury, obviously things were never the same. But the Zlatan experience at Manchester United, it was really good. It was just a shame that we never got him a little bit earlier on in his career. A little bit of transfer talk this week as well. Barcelona apparently sniffing around Marcus Rashford, and the Spanish press quoted it as Barcelona's impossible dream. They know it's very difficult to prize Marcus Rashford away from Manchester United, but that's something they want to try and do. Listen, Barcelona, hands off Rashi, yeah. Hands off Marcus Rashford. The bidding needs to start at 200 million anyway. But hands off. He's going nowhere. Marcus Rashford is the man that hopefully can challenge Wayne Rooney's record at Manchester United. His goal scoring record is the leading goal scorer for the club. Hopefully could challenge Ryan Giggs' appearance record. Now, obviously, those things rely on many different things. Luck, him being consistent, improving, consistently scoring. He has to do all those things, and only time will tell with that. But I really hope he can do it. He's got all the makings of being a fantastic striker for Manchester United, leading the line. At Chelsea, he was playing really angrily. And that can go one of two ways. It can ruin your game or it can improve your game. And I felt that day it really improved his game. And he still found the time for a cool head in the right moment of time. Like when you look at that assist for Paul Pogba's header, he relaxed, whipped the ball in straight onto his head. It was a fantastic timed cross. Not only that, yes, he does miss a lot of chances at times that you think, come on Rashford, you have to score those. But I'm thinking, hopefully with more experience he can iron those out. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer working with him, he can iron those out. And in front of goal, when he does get some goals, he places them perfectly well, and he's got some great finishing. We've seen his free kick technique. He's looking pretty good. I love Marcus Rashford, and long may he continue to be successful at Manchester United. And I think right now he's our number one striker, and that's saying something. Yes, Lukaku and Alexis, and they've had a dip in their form and in their careers, but they're two big names, and Marcus Rashford is standing out ahead of them at the moment. Head and shoulders. Stay away, Barca. So then we were looking forward to watch the biggest game in the Premier League fixture list, Manchester United against Liverpool. And this one had extra meaning. Obviously, the tables had turned a little bit from what we expect at Manchester United. It was no longer us going for the league and Liverpool trying to put a spanner in the works. It's them going for the league and us trying to put a spanner in the works. And ahead of the game on Saturday, I got to visit Carrington thanks to MoPlay. And if you haven't already seen it, go and check out the Mega Match Day vlog, which is already up on the channel. The whole weekend where I go to Carrington, go to the museum, go on the tour, and then of course the Match Day vlog as well. Go and check that out. Full Time Devils have got some great stuff coming too. But thank you to MoPlay for that. I got to go to Carrington, and there I actually saw, Matic wasn't about. Jesse Lingard was about. I didn't see Tony Marshall, but I kind of did see him on the training pitch. I thought, is that Tony Marshall on the training pitch? Because he didn't come over for the signing and stuff like that, but I was pretty sure he was there. So I was feeling kind of confident that, where's Matic? Maybe he's doing something, or maybe he's ill, or he's got a knock, but he should be all right for the game. And then he wasn't. Obviously, mad turnaround for Nemanja Matic, because from my perspective, I've criticised him an awful lot, and he's improved an awful lot under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as is the whole team. And he was a big miss for that Liverpool game. But seeing Lingard there gave me a little bit of confidence. It was a great day though, and I really enjoyed it. And then the game day, we find out Lingard doesn't start, Matic doesn't start, Martial's not even in the match day squad, and the team news was one of those ones that you kind of thought, this is making it a little bit more difficult now. Liverpool are coming into this one, they're going for a league title, and we've got some big key players missing, and players that have made us change the way we're playing. And then the game starts, and it was just an absolutely dreadful start for us. We probably had the best chances in the game in the first half. In the game overall, when you look at the chance that Lukaku had, a header, I thought that was a big chance. When you look at the chance Lingard had, that was a massive chance. I thought he should have dinked the goalkeeper. But the circumstances in which Lingard came onto the pitch in the first place were incredible. Herrera going off, Mata going off, Lingard coming on for Mata and then having to go off. It was awful. We couldn't have asked for a worse start. We couldn't have got a worse start. I couldn't get it. I've never seen that in my life. And all three subs made. We were playing with McTominay and Pereira in midfield, and I was fearing the worst going into that second half. But the way the crowd were, the way the players performed, and I think they responded to the crowd as well. And I was really proud of McTominay and Andreas Pereira. Now, you already know I'm a fan of Andreas Pereira, but after the Burnley game, I was critical of him there, and he has to bounce back, and he bounced back with a performance there. McTominay, again, I haven't really ever been a fan of his in terms of what he brings to the team. I don't think he's great as a footballer, but I shouldn't have to say that to say this. He had a fantastic game. He was a very intelligent performance by him. He had the most interceptions in the game, I believe. He broke up a lot of play as well, from a Liverpool perspective. And it was a really assured performance by him. But Paul Pogba, I have to say as well, he had to sacrifice parts of his game. But when he had realised that, McTominay, Herrera, me, I'm the experienced figure, he held it together well in that midfield, and he was breaking things up, putting in challenges, leading, and that was great to see as well. I thought that midfield, once those substitutions had to get made, they really put in a performance. And as I said at the start of the video, I've been impressed with Chris Smalling this week. I think he's putting a lot of good performances. Victor Lindelof was class. Luke Shaw did a great job on Mo Salah, and it was a proud day despite the frustration at the result. Smalling, just offside, pulls the ball back. It's an own goal from Matic, but just offside. If he can just hold his run a little bit, I know he's a defender, so you give him the benefit of the doubt. But there's a few moments there where if we get the goal, the crowd's even more galvanised, and we go on to win the game. But it was a proud performance, and I've got to say hats off to the manager as well, because he's had to adapt during the game for things we weren't even prepared for. You're never going to be prepared for 3 substitutions in the first half. Maybe 1. Of course, an injury happens, but 3. Talking about that though, I think that's possibly a result of the team all season has played a style of football that is very, I'm not going to say defensive, because it wasn't purely like part of the bus, but we sat back, we didn't press, we didn't show awful lots of energy. Our running stats were never great, and now when you look at the way we're playing, it's the complete opposite. And the team hasn't had a pre-season. They haven't been able to keep this up for get trained for it and get prepared for it. And maybe that's why we're seeing a lot of muscle injuries. I'm not a physio, I'm not a doctor, so I'm kind of guessing, but maybe that change from a slower paced style of football to a quicker paced style of football, the momentum that we've had has kind of carried us through, winning all those games. And then we had the setback of the PSG game, and we come back against Chelsea. We've been playing on momentum and fumes, and players are dropping, injuries are happening, and the team is now being stretched. And I do worry a little bit about the Crystal Palace game, because a Wednesday night game under the floodlights, Selhurst Park, the crowd will be up for it. It's a difficult game, so it's a little bit worrying with the injuries. Hopefully we can get a few of those players back. Now, I mentioned Paul Pogba's performance against Liverpool, and Gary Neville praised him actually for his performance, but it was the other things that he said, and I've been disappointed in Gary Neville a little bit. Why is it we only talk about Paul Pogba's attitude? Why don't we talk about Nemanja Matic's attitude? Why don't we talk about the rest of the squad's attitude in comparison between Mourinho and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and this whole player power thing? Why is that never a thing? Why is it always Paul Pogba? And I think he's also overlooking the fact that Paul Pogba has performed. Yes, he's been inconsistent for Manchester United, but has performed and been one of our best players, even in the Mourinho era. So I'm really confused by that, and he's kind of doubling down on his comments that he made at the time Mourinho got sacked and stuff. Now, I know his agent isn't great, and maybe Gary Neville holds some of that resentment for his agent, like Sir Alex Ferguson did, and he's kind of fallen in line with his previous boss. But I kind of accept it and get it when you hear it from Graham Souness and all that stuff, but when it comes from Gary Neville, it's a bit of a shame still. And obviously, because I've had such a busy week, this video is made on Monday, looking back at the previous week. And today, Monday, the 25th of February, is 3 years on from Marcus Rashford's debut as a Manchester United first team player. scoring those goals against Midget London, the Europa League. He had a little bit of luck with, obviously, he had a little bit of luck in terms of injuries coming his way. Will Keane getting injured, Anthony Martial getting injured, but he has to give a big thanks to Louis van Gaal, because that was Louis van Gaal's style. He kept a small squad so that if the injuries occurred, he could bring younger players in, and Rashford was one that took that opportunity, grabbed it by both hands, and is improved and improved and improved. And I'm really, really proud of Marcus Rashford, and it's been great to watch his journey so far. Long may it continue. Before we go as well, congratulations to David De Gea on 100 Premier League clean sheets. No other team better to do it than Liverpool. Just a shame we didn't get a win in the same game. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching the Weekly United. Hope you guys are all doing well. Make sure you're keeping it liking, sharing and subscribing. Go and check out the Mega Matchday vlog on Adam McKola TV. Go and check out the fan cams on Full Time Devils, and go and check out where I was being a commentator at the Chelsea game. You can go and check out the vlog of that, fan cams, all that good stuff. And for now, guys, I have been Adam McKola. I'm out of here.